Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video. So today I kind of just wanted to do another kind of like job application slash interview experience. So I'm gonna be talking about the company Babcock. Now, some of you guys probably have never heard of Babcock, and don't worry because neither had I until like they called me. But yeah, so basically Babcock are a UK company. They kind of work in the engineering slash military space. So yeah, they have various like summer internships and grad roles in engineering, IT, and also business and the kind of the more commercial side. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities there, and basically I had applied for a summer internship in their Auckland office, which is kind of like located in Devonport near the Navy base. So yeah, I found the job on my university like careers section. We basically have this careers website where new roles pop up. So I applied in the beginning of July, and at this point I was honestly kind of over it. Like, I had applied for so many internships, probably sent over 50 applications at this point, so I really wasn't thinking too much of it. Like, I just sent in my CV and, you know, probably a cover letter, I don't even remember. And then yeah, I didn't think too much of it. So yeah, at the beginning of August, about a month later, I got a call from a recruiter. And I didn't answer the call straight away. I've spoken about this before, but because I applied to so many places, like I literally just let stuff go to voicemail. So then at least I can, you know, kind of prepare, and I know who's going to call me and I know who I'm going to be speaking to, or like the company, what the company is. But yeah, so that initial call was just kind of like a 5 to 10 minute, I guess, phone screening. So I remember they asked me like, what do you know about Babcock? And I was literally like, honestly, not a lot. And yeah, I still got like invited to a group interview. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to know a whole ton about the company. They did ask me about my degree and like what I'm studying and why I'm interested in like that specific role. So yeah, definitely if you get a call, be prepared to talk about what you study, be prepared to talk about, yeah, your degree and your skills and why you want to work for them. So yeah, basically after that, I got an email inviting me to a group interview, which is like was supposed to happen the next week. And then yeah, so this was meant to be basically like a tour around their office and, you know, a group interview, so probably interacting with people and also one-on-one interviews as well with the managers. So honestly, I was pretty excited for this. Like, I was pretty keen to go, you know, take a trip to Devonport, which if you guys didn't know, it's like on the North Shore, and it's a pretty cool suburb. So yeah, I was pretty keen. But then if you guys are in New Zealand, then you would have known that basically, so the interview was meant to be Wednesday morning, and then Tuesday night, basically the government had announced that there was going to be like a complete lockdown because we had new cases of coronavirus. So yeah, that interview was basically cancelled last minute, and then they decided to kind of go online and do a Zoom interview. So for me initially, like I didn't really mind. Like you know, obviously it was going to be more convenient for me to just be able to, you know, do an interview at home rather than having to travel all the way to Devonport, which is like over an hour away from my house. Originally, I was told that it was going to be 2 people, so a recruiter and one of the managers, but it ended up being 3 people. However, the third guy, like, I don't really know why he was there. Like, he didn't say anything. I think maybe he was taking notes, or they just wanted like another opinion. So yeah, there were 3 people in the Zoom interview, and it lasted about half an hour. So I'm guessing this was kind of like the replacement for the in-person interview. So I'm assuming that after this stage is when you basically get a job offer. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I've mentioned, but I was not successful. I mean, my interview was last week and I haven't heard back, so I'm just going to assume that I didn't get the job. But yeah, anyways, I'm just going to talk about basically my experience and the questions that I got asked. And obviously, this isn't meant to be like how to get a job. It's just, yeah, my experience and the questions that were asked of me. So the interview, like I said, was on Zoom, and they told me I think it was supposed to start at 1 o'clock. So I turned up at 1. And then the recruiting lady was there, and basically she said that the manager was running late. So I waited about 10 minutes, and then yeah, basically everyone showed up. So I'm not gonna lie, like I was kind of nervous, but I also think that like I didn't take it seriously. Like I was just kind of like, oh, this is just another interview. Like if I don't get it, I don't get it. Yeah, I just didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, and yeah, so I just kind of thought, you know, I'm just gonna be myself. Like I had my hair down so you could tell that it was like dyed, and I also had a Zoom background, which I don't know if it was a good or bad thing, but yeah, I would say try and have a clear background. If your house is really messy, it could be a good idea to put like a Zoom background, but don't do anything too distracting. So the interview was, well, I mean, I've had a few interviews in my life, so I guess I was kind of used to it in a way, but it was my first kind of proper job interview on Zoom, and it was my, like, it's kind of funny to say, but like I felt like it was my first proper like intellectual interview, because all of my other interviews were just kind of for retail or hospitality, so I was never actually had to talk about my technical skills before or anything like that. Anyway, so the interview started off basically, the manager, so introduced himself, introduced what the company and kind of what the role would be, and yeah, just like various projects that interns could work on. And then basically the first question for me was just like an introduction basically about myself, and like my skills and what I study and stuff like that. So surprisingly, no one asked me about my hobbies or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I guess it kind of shows that they don't really care, but at the same time, I don't like talking about my hobbies. I find it awkward, and I find it one of those things where like sometimes companies will all ask you, but they actually don't really care. Anyways, so I have a couple of these questions written down. I don't remember everything exactly that they asked me, but the interview was pretty much just done with the manager, as in the manager that was like in charge of my division. I don't know why the other two people were there, because didn't really say anything the whole time. But yeah, so the interview was half an hour, and the questions that I got asked were like, name a time where someone asked you for help and you couldn't help them. And then also another question was like, name or like a health and safety risks that you managed. And yeah, just a lot of behavioral questions. And like I remember at the start of the interview, he said that he had a list of interview questions, but he was just kind of like gonna go through and pick the ones that he wanted. So it's definitely not the same questions for everybody. But yeah, just be prepared for, you know, interview questions. Have scenarios in your mind, so be ready to talk about situations where, you know, you had a task and your action and the result. And then I remember the last question was quite interesting. So he asked me about my preferred management style, which was a question that I've literally never been asked ever before. And I've done quite a few interviews, so basically I just responded by saying that you know, I like when the manager has like a vision, but also, you know, I don't want to be like micromanaged, and I still want to have my independence in a way. So yeah, I'm not sure if that was the answer that they were looking for, but yeah, that's what I said. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope it was helpful and informative in a way. Like I said before, this isn't meant to be like how to get a job. I was just wanted to explain my experience because I think it could be helpful for people in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao!